expenses of your house when you rent are part of your rent. So of course they're paying, renters pay property taxes. Okay, so it's the premise of this lousy, rotten, scumbag councilman was wrong in the first place. Okay, because you know, obviously renters are paying taxes, and even if they weren't, under the United States Constitution, I don't have to pay property taxes to be an American citizen. And I have the same rights, you know, whether I pay taxes or not pay taxes. As long as I obey the law, I'm entitled to speak in a public forum like everybody else. That's what the First Amendment says. And so another council member at this meeting, you know, whispered, muttered, whatever you want to call it, we should condemn his goddamn house. That's what he said. I mean, it's hard to hear. I mean, I'm sure that once it's professionally, the tape is professionally enhanced, that's what he says. We should condemn his goddamn house. So these bastards won't even, you know, they don't want to answer the question, and so they've decided I'm not a citizen anymore, and now they can threaten my existence, basically, you know, because I ask a polite question, and they were polite questions. You know, no profanity, no wild accusations. Just basic questions like, well, why don't you make police log information available, or some other simple question. Yeah, pointed questions, no doubt, but you know, nothing vulgar, nothing disgusting, nothing out of the ordinary. And so there was other instances. You know, I sent a letter to the council, another circumstance, and the council member decides, you know, he makes up some, you know, cock and bull story. So he's sitting there trying to say, well, they don't have to acknowledge the letter because when I cited the ordinance, I cited the subsection instead of the title of the ordinance, you know. So he's using this idiotic, preposterous technicality because, you know, I didn't say ordinance 234, I said the taxation ordinance or something. Therefore, they don't have to acknowledge I sent them a letter. I mean, it's just crazy stuff. And throughout this whole period, you know, these years of asking for documents and stuff, I had these conversations with this criminal borough administrator, this crook, this bum, this creep. And I'd have these conversations. He'd keep harping at me to come into the office. I keep telling him, look, you know, I have a disability. I haven't been out for 25 years. I don't go to the store. I don't go here. I don't go all these other places. Why would I be able to go to your office? So let's not even have this argument anymore. And there's this thing called the Americans with Disabilities Act. You know, federal law. Congress passed it. Okay? And under that law, you got to give me a little friggin' respect, you asshole. And so I couldn't get anywhere with this guy. And then he would say stupid, preposterous things. I mean, you know, I'm arguing with him about him giving me some information. I said, well, if the New York Times asked for the information, would you give it to him? He said, sure. And I said, well, that's not Constitution. He said, well, you're not the New York Times, and you're not the Observer Tribune, you're not the Star Ledger, and you're not even the Observer Tribune. That's how he put it. Yeah, guess what? I'm a citizen. I have more rights than these commercial organizations in the first place. I don't need to be the New York Times to ask for a public document. But that's the level of fascism that exists in these people. These evil bastards, and they have power. They're allowed to hold government office with these kind of attitudes. And so this, like I said, this lawsuit's been pending for 3 years now. I better get to the point. All right, now we got these idiot judges, complete morons. All right, these two judges, Deanne Wilson and Dumont, I can't remember his first name. Complete idiots. They live in the Mendham Township, which is the neighboring town, Mendham Borough, Mendham Township. They have interlocal agreements. The two towns are very connected. They live in that town, and yet they wouldn't recuse themselves. Okay, and so these corrupt judges, who didn't even tell me they lived in the town, I found out, you know, through other means, have contrived all these excuses to destroy my litigation. They won't let me have a fair trial. They won't let me put it before a jury. They won't even let me make an argument on the issues. In 3 years, we've been arguing about absolutely nothing. And for the last 15 months, not a single thing has happened in the case. It's just been sitting there with a dismissal motion pending. It's completely illegal conduct, completely unconstitutional, no due process here whatsoever. because of these criminals, these bigoted criminals. And that's what they are. They are criminals. And it's just outrageous. They're allowed to get away with this stuff. These judges have immunity from prosecution. You can't convict one of them of any of the crimes. They can take an oath to the United States Constitution. They can take an oath to Thomas Jefferson's blood, sweat, and soul and spit on it. And we're supposed to accept that. And we're not supposed to get angry, and we're not supposed to get upset, we're not supposed to get anything. Oh, no, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly within their purview, their authority. Because some hack politician made a deal with some jackass to put this corrupt lawyer, and that's all these judges are, is corrupt, lying lawyers. That's how they made their career in the first place, on the court to decide justice. And it's disgusting. I mean, these people couldn't pass a lie detector test. Come on, Deanne, come on, I'll pay for it. Let's hook you up to the lie detector test and see what you're made out of. Let's see what kind of integrity you really have. And let's see what kind of intelligence you have. Because in the next case that I'll be describing in the next show, we can point out exactly how stupid she is. Okay? And it's just, but this is the system. This is the system we've got here. We've got this United States Constitution, and it means absolutely nothing. Because we've put it in the hands of these corrupt, evil, lying bastards. And that's all they are. They're criminals. And we've put the United States Constitution in their hands. They can't make an honest decision because they are just completely, whatever their personal biases dictate, that's how they're going to bend the law. They're going to bend the rules, bend everything to destroy what they don't want to deal with.